figured if my phone rang and I was gonna have to make a mad dash.
No,
I didn't want
then
it to
you
be
leave it
like,
open. Then you leave it open.
So I
Okay,
can
I
close it like
forgot about
that.
that. I'm sorry.
Not be so loud.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. And Judy, if you will do roll call, please.
Janet Dowling,
Yes.
Liz Winkler, absent. Charlene Watson, absent. Charlene DeWitt.
Here.
Bob Lovelace.
Yes.
Nancy Nitch.
Present.
Judy Alworks. Here. Rose Landis.
Here.
Cindy Nelson. Here. Terry Finch is absent. Marge Schneider. Here. Okay. All call is called.
Okay, all right. Now, let me give you a little update on Charlene Watson. I guess it's close to probably about 10 days, possibly 2 weeks ago. Charlene went out to her mailbox, which is out by the road, and apparently her mailbox sticks from time to time, so she takes a hammer with her. And, okay, she got out and got the mail and brought it back. And if you're familiar with her house, she has a garage door where she pulls her car in. Then she has an entryway door into, and in her entryway door, then you go on a flat surface, and then there's another couple steps up into the house. And as she was going those last couple of steps, she dropped the hammer and was reaching down to get it and fell. And since then, she has, well, she had bumps and bruises and you know, stuff all over it. So, about, I would say probably 4 or 5, maybe 5 days ago, her family took her to the hospital, see the doctor, and they decided to keep her and do some physical therapy. She called me from the hospital last night, and she's still there. So whether they're working on other things or not, so keep her in your prayers.
Is this in Lincoln?
No, she's in the Beloit Hospital, Mitchell County Hospital. So if you want to send her a note, I'm sure she'll be glad to hear. Or she has her cell phone with her. If you have her cell phone number, I'm sure she'll be glad to hear from you. Okay. All right. Next we'll go to the minutes, and you have several groups of them. Let's start with the ones dated, oops, I don't remember myself. 9/6 minutes of LCCA Executive Board meeting. Okay, start with those.
Is that the right date? The reason I'm asking is was this called after our last meeting?
Didn't we go with the one a month ago?
Well, it doesn't make any difference.
That it
Whatever.
lead up to everything else?
Okay, except this one is the one dated the 6th, then we have some the 25th.
But this
and then
one
we
would have
a-
been read at the last meeting, because our last meeting was September the 25th. That's why I'm wondering if
Oh,
it's the right
okay.
date, or if it's
Okay.
the wrong date.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
October 16th is the one that we had last week.
Yeah,
October 25th is a month ago,
September
or
20th.
September,
yeah, it was last month's meeting.
yeah.
So it makes me wonder if this shouldn't be October the 6th.
Okay,
No, read it, called by Teresa.
I know, but wouldn't it have been after our last meeting?
Yes.
I mean, why wasn't this read at our last meeting, which was the 25th?
I don't know.
okay. Well, should we just,
I
mean,
think it
it's
should read, I don't know, it should be this.
Well,
yes, because we discussed this in our last meeting. You are correct.
Okay, so it should
Okay.
be probably October the 6th.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had already discussed that at the last meeting. So let's start with 9/25. Okay, that's 2 pages.
you want me to read it?
Okay,
or-
yes, you may, Nancy,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Council on Aging Board Meeting, September 25th, 2018. The meeting was called to order by President Jan Dallin. Roll call was taken by President Dallin. Liz Winkler and Charlene DeWitt were absent. Guests were Terry Finch, Cindy Nelson, Becky Rathbun, Chris Lovelace, Kathy Moss, and Rose Landis. Minutes of the 8/28/18 board meeting were read and approved. The president called for correspondence to be presented. Nancy Nitch handed out a letter from the Sylvan Senior Center requesting the remaining $4,000 they were still owed from the 2017 budget. The letter said that Lincoln County Commissioners said the LCCA should follow through in dispersing the rest of the mill levy money to the Sylvan Senior Center. Commissioner Terry Finch said the letter was not accurate and that no one on the commission said the LCCA had to give them the money. They said the LCCA should look through their records and get the exact amount owed to the Sylvan Senior Center. Mitch said she had read the records and the exact amount paid to them is $10,500. Discussion followed. Bob Lovelace said the point is we do owe them money. Judy Albers made a motion it be researched and get the exact amount already paid to them. Bob Lovelace seconded the motion passed. The financial reports were read and approved by the board. Nancy Nitch and Judy Albers voiced the opinion that the financial report be returned to the format that was used in the past. No action was taken. Under old business, President Dallin stated that the audit conducted by Adams, Brown, Barron, and Ball has been completed. Commissioner Finch said they cannot call it an audit. It has to be called a procedure according to the law. President Dallin talked about legal duties of the board members. She asked if Cindy Nelson planned a follow-up training for board members. Nelson stated that no follow-up meeting is planned at the present time. Under new business, Bob Lovelace discussed the hours Teresa Richards is keeping. He counted up a total of 28 hours according to the sign posted on the office door. He questioned whether she's actually there that many hours. He also said Teresa was supposed to present a program on Medicare at the Lincoln Senior Center and the Sylvan Senior Center and did not call or show up for the meetings. Lovelace made a motion that the board go into a 15-minute executive meeting to discuss personnel matters. Judy Albers seconded the motion. Back in open session, Lovelace made a motion that a meeting with Teresa Richards be held to discuss her wages, hours, and benefits up to the first of the year. Since the meeting has to be posted for 2 weeks before a special meeting can be held, it was set for Tuesday, October the 16th at 9 a.m. The motion was seconded by Judy Albers and passed unanimously. It was discussed that the council needs to purchase a camera to record meetings since the location of the other one is unknown. No action was taken until we checked this out. Bob Lovelace moved that we place an ad in the Lincoln Sentinel for new LCCA board members and run it for several weeks. Judy Albers seconded the motion and it passed unanimously. Cindy Nelson, 18 County Board member, and Judy Albers, a Lincoln County honoree member, reported on the senior sunflower fair they had attended. Rose Landis gave a report on upcoming events for the North Central Flint Hills Area Agency on Aging. The meeting was adjourned. The next meeting will be 9 a.m. on Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018. Submitted by Charlene Watson, Secretary.
Okay,
You want to do the next one?
okay,
Or
do we
you
have,
want to do
well,
this one
let's
first?
do, if there's, are there any additions or corrections? Any that anybody saw?
Well,
Bob?
I did, I moved to replace an ad in the Lincoln Sentinel for a new coordinator for the LCCA. I didn't want an ad in here for board members.
Okay,
Yes, it was
for
board
it was for
members.
LCCA coordinators, what that was for.
okay, so correction should be cross out board members and add and change that to coordinator. Okay, let's keep that in mind because I don't believe we've done that, have we, Bob?
Okay, I
No.
disagree with it because it was looking for members, I was to go to newspaper, but then we didn't know who we were, which board members are we looking for to replace? And due to other things that have happened this past month,
Yes,
you can't talk
I think
because
it's,
you think you're having a
I think
meeting.
it's board members because Teresa was still working at the time.
On September 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, leave it as,
Because I think it should be, Cause it was board members that we were
Yes, I was supposed
discussing.
to do it.
Okay. And I don't have a list and I need to get that. We'll discuss that later on in the meeting.
Is this approved or
In
not?
old business, we'll discuss that.
Is this
because we're-
approved or not?
Okay, any other corrections or additions on that? Okay, then those are approved as yet. Okay, Nancy, do you want to go on and read the October 16th?
Okay, I don't have a copy.
Oh. Okay, we've got it.
No, just 16.
That's
the
what you
meeting.
want?
Or
Oh,
did you want this,
Yeah.
this thing.
Okay. Lincoln County Council on Aging Special Meeting, October 16, 2018. President Jan Dallin called the meeting to order at 9:00 a.m. Board members in attendance were Jan Dallin, Judy Olivers, Mark Schneider, Bob Lovelace, and Nancy Nitch. Guests were Cindy Nelson, Terry Finch, Chris Lovelace, Kathy Moss, Roger Nitch, and Jeannie Freese. Jan Dallin announced that Teresa Richards had resigned her position as Senior Services Coordinator about 10 days ago. She will be sending a formal letter of resignation. She has removed her personal items from the LCCA office and gave her key to Jan. She has been paid for time worked plus her vacation and sick time. The checkbook is under lock and key at the LCCA office. I didn't put that LCCA office in there.
That's okay.
There was discussion about advertising for a new coordinator. It was decided that a new job description for that position needed to be written that would address hours, pay scale, duties, and qualifications. All board members are asked to write down their ideas and bring to the regular LCCA meeting October the 23rd. After the job description is completed, we will advertise the open position. Medicare open enrollment is October the 15th through December the 7th. The North Central Flint Hills Aging Association will be assisting with the process with one session at the Sylvan Grove Senior Center October 25th and at the Lincoln Senior Center December the 5th. Patterson Pharmacy and Becky Rathman will also help those needing assistance in enrolling. Flyers with all the enrollment data will be placed in all the towns in Lincoln County. A notice will also be put in the local newspapers. Becky will cancel the previous ads that had been sent to the newspapers. Jan said that when the next shipment of commodities arrives, we will need some help to distribute. Several members present said they would help. It was decided that the LCCA meeting next Tuesday, October 23rd, will be held at the Lincoln Senior Center. Becky Rathman volunteered to help put a new message on the answer machine at the LCCA office. Bob Lovelace made a motion to adjourn, and Judy Oliver seconded the motion, meeting adjourned.
I don't have one of those. I
Okay.
didn't get one.
Okay, grab one out of
There's not
the.
one there either.
Oh,
I made 8 copies.
okay.
Or no, there was 9 copies, I should say. 8 in the original. I don't have
I
one.
thought I tried to distribute evenly. Okay. Is there one, there's not one in either one of those boxes. Is there one over there? October 23rd. No. All right, look into that. Look in. Okay.
Yeah, there's one in there.
Is there one in there? Yeah, go ahead and take that out and then we'll make sure we get.
I've got one at home, so I don't.
Okay, all right. You go, Bob. All right. Okay, any questions, corrections, additions on that one? Okay. We'll be discussing several items there. Okay. Next is the financial reports, and you have that in there. Okay,
I'm missing a page of that too. This is the back page, surely, isn't it?
there's
That's
that's it. Uh-huh,
Oh, it's just the back page?
yeah, it's just,
It doesn't have any dates or nothing at the top.
just has okay.
Okay.
October, checking account balance, 15,153,001. Transfer from other accounts, 9,000. Total income made that balance 10,530. 01, all right, phone and internet, 11017, rent or lease, 200, electric, trash, and water, 8864, and gas, 6062, and building content insurance, 23. Or do you have? Well, no, there should be another page. You're right.
I was gonna say, I don't know
I'd
where
say,
you
I just
are.
have the back page.
You just have the back page. Okay.
I'm
and
looking.
then you get you.
That's
We
what
need to
me, I
get
was
you some.
looking at it.
I don't know what happened.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I thought there was enough copies
Yeah,
there. I
that's
guess
all we
I
got.
distributed them incorrectly.
I'll look at yours.
Building and content, and we will, advertising and subscription 60, we will no longer have that because we've taken those ads out. Okay,
So we're gonna have more.
yeah, but we'll have some coming back in when we have the other ads, but for now, okay. And then there's, the final, wages, and, the final health insurance, and let's see, yeah, mileage for, meal delivery. And then that, under there. Okay, so sorry about that. I guess I didn't realize when I was handing those out that there were 2 pages. I didn't even give myself
Find
the,
that out.
give myself the second page.
What's the
so.
other amount?
What's it, $6,000?
Other,
Yeah, on number 45, $6,568. What is that?
I will have to go back and check.
Jan, is that the money that you paid her for her 144 hours and her,
I will go
48
back
hours.
and check on that.
no, we wanna know today. We wanna know today. You know
Well,
what that,
I'm
you
not-
know what that is.
Well, not right off the top of my head, no.
how about those attorney fees, were they ever paid?
Yeah, that's back up on line 32,
Oh,
isn't
okay,
it?
okay.
Yeah, it's back up on line 32.
Yeah,
Okay,
but it wasn't paid in October though.
Mhm.
See, that's not paid yet either.
Okay, where have we, we're supposed to be getting a bill for this procedure.
yeah, the
Type
audit, maybe the,
audit.
is that the audit?
I haven't gotten anything because I've checked the mailbox several times a week. And I haven't gotten anything, so. And I will go back and check through the checklist. If
What's
there's a lot of
mileage
things.
for CC? The last one.
Okay,
$94.
I will check on that one too.
Because up above it says mileage for delivering meals.
Yeah, and that's for my delivery. Okay, I will check, I'll go back to the checkbook and check on those 2 items. Okay, anything else on the second page?
We don't know the second page.
Okay,
I,
well,
I
some
got
of
the
us-
second page.
Some of them have the second page.
too.
Okay. All right.
Looks like we have a final balance of funds available, $57,446.71.
Here's a couple second pages.
Okay,
How about first page?
We need to-
My first
Oh,
page
you got the second page, not the
Yeah, we
first
got
page?
second pages.
okay,
Here's one first page.
Okay, that's,
All right.
okay,
okay.
I'll take
All right,
that.
I marked this on there and I'll go back and,
No, that's
I
the
will go
first
back
page.
and check on
You
that.
don't have this one,
I
second
don't have a
page.
second page, okay.
Did you get it?
I've got the first page.
Okay. You don't
I
have
don't have
I'll
second
take that.
page.
Okay, so, I don't believe we want to,
No.
approve the financial
No.
reports as of right
No.
now, do we?
No.
Okay, all right. And so I want you to check on items.
Is there any anything else on the second page
No,
that needs to be.
anybody goes ahead of CDs, this is
Yeah, I
all,
got the
this
second
is
page.
CDs and savings and so forth that she transfers from.
Just asking.
Uh-huh, that's fine.
Can't she go check the kitchen, cause he's bringing it up today. Instead of
Okay.
putting it
We're
on.
gonna create that new
Okay,
business
but
here.
this won't be approved until
No,
we can figure
until
out
until I
where
go
this
back and
money-
check.
why.
Supposed to be
I'll go back
Who,
and
what,
check
where,
it.
why.
building.
Okay, was there any?
Who did the financials?
Mm-hmm.
Who did them?
Teresa did them before she
Okay.
left.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, got that. Okay, so that's pending. Now, old business, I kind of went back through. Do we still want to, purchase a camera to record meetings? Or is that something that the council wants to put aside for now? Important or not important?
Is it just to take a picture of everybody that's here?
No, I
No,
mean
to
to record the whole
record.
meeting.
That if there's question about the meeting, you'd go back to the video to
Yeah, it'd be a
make
video
sure
camera,
who said
Okay,
what,
I was gonna
where.
say just a camera.
not a regular disc camera, but a video camera. Do we,
I think the camera belonged to Liz, I think, I don't know.
so I don't, very,
Are you
No real-
continue recording?
Yeah, we're recording,
Uh-huh.
and these videos, when
I
we
mean-
produce them, they're available
from
on
now on,
YouTube.
though.
You can always see them on YouTube.
Yeah, but from now on though.
Oh, we'll certainly try.
okay, so do we wanna,
If a board member was willing to use the camera, if I wasn't able to, I would provide it.
No.
okay. All right, do you wanna think about that?
I think we have more pressing issues
Okay.
than that at the present time.
All right,
Amen.
We appreciate the offer though.
okay, all right, we'll table that if you wanna bring it back up for another time. Okay, now, I don't have a list, and I need to get the list from someone. I know that I will be going off, my term will be up at the end of the year.
Totally?
Yes, totally. And,
Well, see, I just thought it was going off as president. I didn't realize
no,
you were
it's
going off.
totally off the board. And,
And Charlie, don't you go off?
yeah, and Charlene DeWitt goes off. I can't remember who else goes off. Okay. So,
Okay, I didn't get a notebook, so I don't, there's a list.
there you have the list, yes, thank you. All right. Yeah, Sierra was appointed in January, 2017, two-year term, so that's coming up in January. Liz Winkler also goes off, and you've been on for two terms. Charlene DeWitt goes off. And,
Excuse me,
yes, Cindy.
at your last meeting,
Uh-huh.
we discussed this, and everyone goes off except Marge. She's on till 2020.
Excuse me, I do not go off.
You only serve a 2-year term, and then you apply again for another 2
I have a letter right here saying,
Well, tell Jan, I don't know when, but it says
Hers
on
is
here.
November 2016.
I served
November.
1 year of someone else's,
Right.
then I was appointed for another 2-year
Right.
term.
So you would be going off in, I'm assuming these were when you were appointed, so your term ends January 2019.
No,
That's a 2-year
December 2019.
Okay,
Okay.
well, it should be, don't you have November 2016?
Yeah, we had
That's-
November 2016, so
That's-
she would
She
go
doesn't
up.
count that year, correct? Because don't you have a rule that says if you serve half of 1 year?
I said, I
you can
served
sit down, it's
1
okay.
year, I'm looking for something, I can't find it.
And so all of 2017 you served, and all of 2018 you served. That would be 2 years.
Mhm.
So you would be going off in January of 2019.
I'll let you know, I pulled it out.
Because you
I
only
was gonna
had
say, is
2-year
it what,
terms.
what I gave her, Judy?
But you applied
No.
for another.
Okay.
I
term.
have the letter from the county saying
Okay.
till December 2019, I'm on the board.
Okay,
Well, I don't know, that might conflict with what your bylaws say. Your bylaws are,
That's same for me, Judy. I got another year to go.
okay.
no, that hasn't changed.
So,
Nancy. Your bylaws haven't changed.
Nevertheless, and I haven't talked to, let's see, 2018. So everybody,
Every 2 years, folks.
yeah, every 2 years.
If you
Okay.
miss 3 meetings, aren't you out?
Yes.
Mhm.
And so Charlene Watson would not be
And hers
how about
was,
Liz
hers was April
I don't
2016 was
know.
when
She
she.
keeps missing.
at least two.
Mhm.
I know of.
So, we need to be hunting for people.
And I just served 2 years for Suzanne Weirman, so I presume I go off, don't I?
Mhm.
You were report, you
Yours is
were.
to January.
You
appointed
joined
after,
midterm, so
And I started like maybe in February of last
You
year.
January.
what does
I
your
just
letter
have-
from the county commissioners say?
I don't know.
This is
That's what I'm
January
going by.
2017. So officially you would go off in January,
Yeah.
January.
That's what I thought. I thought my time was done.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So most everybody's time is
Done.
done. We really need to, except Marjorie.
I'm gonna be by myself.
Yes.
Then you can run it like you want to.
I said that.
Here,
I-
But
I-
you
Fine,
served
Judy.
2 years, and you can serve another 2 years.
Yeah.
But you reapply, because now you
Dan.
go by the county commissioners. So there's 2 from every district and 1 at large.
Mhm.
It's pretty easy to understand. Bob can reapply, Nancy can reapply, Judy
Yeah,
can
Cindy,
reapply.
where I came in to take place of another person in February this last year. Don't I still have
Yeah,
another
yours
year to
is-
the 19?
Yours is,
2019.
You're
I-
on till
I can
December
hear your first part.
2019, according to that,
but
yeah.
you
I took
read
somebody
it
else's
since
place
Cindy is
in
questioning
February of
me.
this last year. So I just finished that term.
Huh?
I still have 1 more year till 2019.
You have till January of 2019,
Yeah.
because you came on in March of 2017, and that was the first half. You have that strange little rule. of
Yeah.
The first half of the year and the last half of the year. If you come in the first half, that's March, you're serving that whole year,
Oh,
you know.
Mhm.
And if you
Okay,
come in-
Cindy.
Judy comes in the
So,
second
but
half of that
he's,
year, so
but,
she
Here,
doesn't count
dated
that.
January 4th, 2017, the Board of Commissioners approved me to expire December 31st, 2017. On February 6th, 2018, the Board of Commissioners in regular session appointed me for my new term that expires December 31st, 2019.
I don't know, you'll have to take that up with the county commissioners, because that conflicts with your bylaws. And your bylaws supersede what a county commissioner tells you in a letter.
They keep changing.
And no, that has not been changed in your bylaws. You've always had 2-year terms. You haven't enforced it.
it's still so good.
The
Okay.
enforcement is the
so,
Yes.
never,
Your bylaws
nevertheless,
are your legal document that, someone can take with you to court
Um,
on. if they choose to.
nevertheless, those, as I said, I have been on for several terms, my term will, expire, and, I am looking probably at having knee replacement done, as all of you see me limping around here. So, that's my, so anyone else who wants to remain on the board will need to
Reapply.
reapply,
Correct.
okay? If you want to remain on the board. And then I need to start recruiting someone. Let's see,
You
Sheldon,
advertise it, you have it in your bylaws, and somebody was Judy, that wanted to make sure that it was posted in an official Lincoln County newspaper. And that's the thing that you approved, whatever meeting it was, you read in your minutes.
In
Uh-huh.
To be
July.
published, but it wasn't published. It needed to be published, and I
Uh-huh.
have an outline of it, but I'm not the one that does it.
okay,
What was to be published?
The opening meetings that exist on your council so that people can.
And I
apply.
just said earlier, I did not go to the newspaper due to circumstances. I wasn't sure
Right.
from what area.
It would have been your officers that would put it in the newspaper.
Yeah. One of us,
Well,
I can do
The
that.
officers didn't want to, so I volunteered. I'm sorry.
I don't
Okay.
remember that at the meeting.
Okay, so if the, I will need to, advertise and find someone for my position. I will call Liz and advise her that she will need to. And, Charlene, are you planning on going off?
I've got too much going on with the city down there in Beverly.
Okay, okay. Okay. And I will check with, Charlene Watson.
Well, you really don't want to advertise for president. It's someone
No,
Can't
it's,
do that.
it's just a
for
board
the
member.
board at
It's
large.
just a board member.
So,
Yeah.
okay, let me, when we go off, we're supposed to find somebody to replace us?
If you
Try
can,
to.
try to.
Okay, okay, I did not know
Try
that.
But I've already been asking. No,
No,
ones I've asked so far don't want to, but then I ain't asked everybody.
yeah,
You're
Okay,
not
I did not
supposed to
know
do
that,
that.
so.
You're supposed to advertise it and people come to apply. If you don't have any applicants, that's when you would look for someone. You have to open it up legally for
okay.
people to apply.
So
for
what we need to do then is to put the ad
Right.
in the paper for, well,
I
LCCA
interrupt
board
traffic.
members. That's it.
LCCA board members.
You know, this is gonna make it tough when
I
you
have
get,
it written
you
down.
get 6 of them, 7 of them all new members on here at one time. And Marge is the only old one. She's gonna be
Well,
in
you
the.
shouldn't have to, because you got people reapplying to go back on the board.
Yeah,
Or they
those
should.
those
Can
who,
reapply and then the board makes the decisions over whether they are accepted.
so, those of you that are eligible to reapply, think about that, consider that, and get your application in.
To here?
Yes, to here, to me.
Can I read what was suggested from Manhattan, since everybody likes to go to Manhattan and get something on how it's supposed to be done?
Okay, that'd be fine. Would you
But
do
I
that?
do know that, like, the Agency on Aging is taking over some of the councils if they can't work it out and do it. So, you have that option if it's not able to work together. Anyway, the Lincoln County Council on Aging announces the following open positions, and I just wrote down what they suggested me to say, so you can tweak it any way you want to tweak it. There's a County Commissioner District 1, as I told you last meeting. That includes Elkhorn, Franklin, Valley, where else? That's just those 3, right? Commissioner,
I have to
County
look at
Commissioner
the-
1. One
look at my
position
map.
would be open. Because Marge is the other position, there's 2 from each one. So
Okay,
Marge's position is
one
open.
position, all right?
And County Commissioner 2 is Beaver, Colorado, Logan, Madison, Marion, Salt Creek, Scott Townships. 1 position is open,
Possibly two,
but possibly 2.
possibly
because
two. I'll talk to Charlene.
That's Charlene Watson.
Uh-huh,
And you have a rule in your bylaws that say if you miss 3 meetings, you're automatically out. So,
Unexcused.
no, if you changed that, so.
okay.
don't
Who changed
ask me.
that?
Wow.
Who changed that?
In the
I
bylaws,
did, in the bylaws,
people don't read it.
about 3 or 4 meetings ago.
That's what I said, they're changing.
Okay,
They don't read it.
nevertheless, I will,
That's why the bylaws need to be
Well,
redone.
it was changed because you guys went from being a 10-member board to going to commissioners, matching the district commissioners.
uh-huh,
We
I
were
guess
going,
Terry would
if you
explain
go
that more
off,
to you. And then
the
District
exact
3
wording was, if you go off, we were dropping to 7 members instead of the 9 members.
Or,
Okay, right, Rose, right now there's 4 districts, do I wanna say?
no, 3. There's just, it duplicates your county commissioner district.
I said
And
presently,
Oh, yeah, I think you're
there's
right,
4.
or
We're
more.
going back to 3, and the reason we done this was that it was so hard to find people to be on the board, that if we dropped it to 7, it would be easier. easier. So that there would be 2 from each deal and one
at large.
at large.
Correct. And
That
makes
was
sense.
our thinking when we done the bylaws.
And the other thing is you had never advertised the position, you had always put the responsibility on a person to try to find somebody. So you made that new, that you were advertised the position so that it would, in case anybody in the county was interested in serving, just like the other, just the other committees that are in the district, like the Recreation Committee, like the Economic Development, they all have to apply to be on a board or a council. So let me continue.
Okay,
County Commissioner District 3 is Battle Creek, Cedron, is that how you pronounce it? Cedron, Golden Belt, Grant, Hanover, Highland, Indiana, Orange, Pleasant, and Vesper, and 2 positions are open. And the Lincoln County at-large position, 1 position is open. And that's just by how you came in for 2 years. It doesn't say you can't reapply. So there's not any kind of, you should reapply. That way you have on file why someone wants to be on your council. And then there was a mission statement, it's supposed to have been read maybe, I don't know. The mission of the council is to work for senior population, and I had to look it up and find it, so I didn't know.
We have that.
The mission of the council is to work for the senior population and provide services necessary to keep seniors in your homes. And that should be in your bylaws.
yes, I remember reading that recently,
Okay,
yeah.
and it says you are invited to apply for submitting a letter of interest stating your qualifications and that you, number 1, support the mission of the council. Number 2, have a thorough understanding of parliamentary procedures. Number 3, can attend meetings on the 4th Tuesday at 9 o'clock, but, you know, we've had some people want to change it back to 10, so make sure you want what you want. Reside in the district you are applying to represent and are at least 60 years of age. And then I think they said they should come to the president, but those letters of application should go to the current president. That's what I was told.
Okay.
That other places do it that way. But I haven't had time to look up and find out and call other places to see if that's how they get people on the council.
Okay.
But that makes it fair for every senior in your county to apply, and you might find interest when people know there's openings. Otherwise, you're just limiting everything to who you know and not what people know.
Okay.
That's not what you have to do.
All right, so those who are eligible and want to apply for, want to go for another term, you need to write your letter requesting that. And I will write an official letter of resigning from the board and get that submitted. And
I don't know that you have to do a resignation because your term is
I'm
up.
going, oh, well, yeah, you're right, my term is going on.
But if
right
Charlene Watson's, you might want to have a resignation just because of the rule.
Uh-huh,
And, I mean, about 3 absentees. I don't know. It's up to you guys how you want to
okay.
do it.
I
But
I will
having
consult with
something
her.
in paper is always better,
Okay,
hard copy.
yeah, I'll consult with her.
And you write out an ad for the newspaper to
Yeah.
advertise for whatever she read.
Okay. Okay, we'll,
That's-
I'll get together with Becky and we'll figure that out.
Zip.
Okay? All right, does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Well, what makes sense to me is Liz Winkler's off the board, Charlene Watson's off the board, as of right now. That don't, you know, but again, if you approve them or excuse them, that's the way it should have been. If like Liz was sick 1 week, Charlene Watson is sick 1 week,
Okay.
you excused her for being here today.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the way that my understanding is reads now, is that if you miss 3 meetings, you're off.
According
So
to
Liz
our
Winkler's gone
bylaws.
and Charlene Watson's gone.
According to the bylaws, yeah.
Well, are you gonna go by the bylaws or not?
Isn't it kind of harsh?
Well, I think it's kinda hard.
You guys, you came in and approved it, we were supposed to discuss it.
You know,
That one time,
the reason
I
it was
think there
approved,
was another agenda that day, because that's the day you all confronted Teresa. Lisa, and you voted to approve those bylaws, and there had been questions the month before. But there had been questions the month before, and I think you might wanna revisit that, but.
Well, I still
At
went by
least
the old
that's what
bylaws,
I-
and I still went by the old bylaws, and I got them right here in front of me.
But you can't do that, you can't go back unless if you voted something like that, Bobby.
Yeah.
You can bring it up on your agenda and say, I want to revisit the bylaws because I think, just what you said,
But
that it's unfair.
The bylaws were written by the executive staff, which was,
Excuse me, no.
who were they written by?
Jan, who else
So you
was on?
approved that then? You approved that?
No,
No, you
we
guys
brought
approved
it
it.
back and we gave it to you for 1 month to read
Right,
and bring back everything.
Okay.
that's correct.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
Okay.
we had time to read it, everyone had time to read it. That's correct. You're right.
This was not the executive committee.
That's correct.
Okay,
And because Charlene DeWitt wasn't on it and Liz wasn't on it. Something tells me Charlene Watson.
I think Watson was on it, okay. But nevertheless, I will, if, each of you make your, decision and, put in your letter of
Now, on the bylaws, it says, under members, number 6, any board member missing 3 meetings within the calendar year will no longer be considered a member of the Lincoln County Council on Aging, and the board will look at replacing that board member. And I can't tell you, I don't keep all the I don't get all the minutes, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure, that's why it's important to video and to tape your meetings, and you can put a tape recorder in the middle of your minutes, if you don't wanna get a video, but you've got access to a video, so I would use it. Just-
Okay, all right,
Yes, and a roll call, yes.
yeah. And we always list in the minutes who was present and who wasn't,
I
so.
guess so. Well, could you look through that right now? Could you
What?
look through from the beginning of 2018 to see who has missed from calendar? And that way you would know more what positions are open. I would suggest.
Yeah, let's see, I got from,
Okay.
no, this is just January this year.
Here.
Well, counting today, Liz Watson, Liz Winkler
Liz has
is
missed 3.
So the council
Charlene
Charlene is
Watson.
on 2, right?
3. If you're counting, okay,
I was-
Liz missed 4 meetings because there was a special meeting last week.
Oh, okay.
Charlene Watson has missed 3. Charlene DeWitt,
2. I have to, well,
no,
no,
she missed in January.
oh yeah, you're right, okay.
are you saying that your special meetings are your regular?
I don't
meetings?
know.
I don't
I've
either.
asked.
I don't either.
I would,
But
no,
those
I
are
would say
questions that-
regular meetings.
I would say regular
Regular
meetings, but
meetings.
it doesn't
Bylaws
say
need to
that,
be
so that
redone.
just tells you feedback you need to maybe put in your
You need to
bylaws
Yeah.
rewrite that
next
then,
time
you need to
around.
rewrite it.
Okay,
Then,
in
then too,
January,
if somebody's in the hospital, I don't think we ought to count them as.
I don't
No,
Exactly.
no,
I don't either.
that's
Okay,
true, that's
but it
something
has
that
to be
you can't
written.
help.
Wasn't
You can't help.
discussed, and
Good
you
point,
approved it
Charlotte.
as was, so
Good
there
point.
it is.
Okay.
They can go through it step by step
That's
like they
exactly
should
right.
have.
You're right, Chris,
They're
exactly.
just rushing everything. Vote,
Okay.
and it's over.
All right, so that's, nevertheless, we'll still need to recruit members, for the board, because I will definitely be going off at the end of the year. As I said, hopefully, my daughter will find another job, and,
She's looking for another job.
yeah, after 17 years, they eliminated her position at Walmart. And she's been applying for jobs at various other different places. And plus, she's had health issues this last year. So hopefully we'll be on more of an even keel so that I can go ahead and have my knee done. But I've been getting shots in it for, I can't tell you how many years. Dr. Kimball could probably tell you how many years it's been. So, okay, those of you who want to remain on the board need to let your wishes known, okay? All right. Now, Cindy, did you have anything else? I have you on the agenda. You asked me to put you on.
Well, way back when, about 3 months ago, I was asked if I could come in and tell the people, you remember I did a training?
Yeah.
And you were I told you to get certificates for it, and I've been bringing them with me every time for the people who participated. And
Oh,
and so at this very moment, I would
we
like
get
to
our
get rid of them,
certificate.
which I said last time, and you all went like, what do you mean get rid of? So, you had a wonderful training, and it was I really appreciated being able to do that, because parliamentary procedure is really important, and the more you have it, and the more you have your bylaws written down, and you follow your bylaws, then their meetings will be really easy. You can get in and out in 30 minutes to an hour. It should work that way. So, certificates of participation. Judy. Pass that down to Judy, please. Nancy.
Judy Alvarez. Nancy.
Charlene. Marge. The bingo lady. Jan.
Nice being known.
We always
for
look
something.
where Marge sits because we know that there's going to be a win.
You're wrong.
And then there was Liz and Teresa. I guess that's it. And those
Okay.
are the people that did that. And then I also had, what part of I was asked to do was to give you feedback on the test, the pre-test and the post-test, and then observations since the training. And that was a correspondence. Do you want me to read that? The letter I wrote to everybody that never got mailed.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you could give me the letter and we will make
You have a
make
copy
sure
of it.
each member gets a copy.
You have a copy of it from last time, because I gave you one. And
Oh, okay.
I really need to probably go over the recommendations, because that's part of what I was supposed to do 3 months ago.
Okay.
I'd just like to get it done.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, if you want to do the recommendations.
Well, I've asked to be on the agenda every time,
Uh-huh.
and we kind of glazed over it because of other issues. So, the letter, you can make a copy of and give to everyone, I guess. But there were post-workshop observation recommendations, and some of these things that I have noticed, and I am very qualified to do this. I was trained by UCLA to teach parliamentary procedures and Robert's Rules of Order, and you can ask for my credentials, and I'll get you copies of them if you want. The meetings are better organized when you do use some kind of structure. And we tried to have the structure of notebooks, but that means that you need to get that information in those notebooks so that everybody has an equal opportunity, if you will, to read through the materials, and especially for the people that come earlier. Many of you take your own notebook and do that. That's great. However, there's many papers that are passed out at the meeting, and we already saw an example today where we couldn't find certain papers, or there wasn't certain papers for every person. So that's really important that everybody has the same information when they come to the meeting and when the meeting starts. Also in your notebooks were everything that was discussed at the training, and it has some very important things. It has the bylaws and what are supposed to be in the bylaws, and you were asked to take those things home and read them on your own if you wanted to, and you could check them out and you could bring them back. It was just that the notebooks belonged because they were paid for by the Council on Aging. So you could take those home and read them. Discipline was talked about. In other words, what kinds of behaviors do we need to see at meetings in order for business to occur? So notebooks help you organize your materials, and you are almost there. Agendas have helped most members stay on track with the meeting. Agendas are, well, you have to have an agenda. That's your outline of your meeting, what you're supposed to do. And I see that you are having more agendas, but everybody in the audience that comes needs to have an agenda too. And it's something that you have so that when everybody comes, you know, they know what you're talking about. And the first thing you do at the meeting is approve the agenda. So I move to approve the agenda. That's the first order of business. I know Marge knows because she always looks at me and goes, thumbs up, did we do it? Thumbs down, we didn't do it. Most members arrive early to review the meeting materials. That's really good that you do that and that you come and that you read through those things. And then use the correct terminology when making motions. and there was information in your notebooks about how to make a motion. It's I move, not I make a motion. And then you have to update your bylaws and approve them. And you did do bylaws and approval, and like Judy said, you had over a month. Actually, you passed them out one time, and then the next time you said, well, people didn't have time. They were given another month to read through them, and then they were voted on. These are some of the recommendations that I see to go further that just because this is a thing that I've had to do with many, many organizations. I've worked with DVAC, Council on, City of Harrington, the City of Beloit, the City of Concordia, helping them learn parliamentary procedures and how important those things really are in order to make your business meetings short, sweet, and get things accomplished. Like Chris says, if you have it on the agenda, boom, 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 and you don't spend, or you don't skip something that should have been discussed. Council members need to have a thorough knowledge of the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. What is that? That's HIPAA. And HIPAA is in order to safeguard any medical information and privacy. And I don't know, I've checked with everywhere I've checked, and you can't give out names when it has anything to do with anyone's health or anyone's prescriptions or anyone's whatever. That is absolutely a violation of privacy. Council members must understand that a 501c3 tax exempt organization, they have to know what they are, what they do. What does that mean to be a 501c3, both legally and ethically? By prioritizing your positions, not just who you know, and training to represent people on the council. When selecting council members, remember that good council members make nonprofit productive and run smoothly, but poor council members cause incredible turmoil and even threaten the nonprofit's survival. Nonprofits deserve to have an inspired council work smoothly to promote the mission and senior programs. If I asked each one of you right now to write what the mission is, would it look just like what's in your bylaws? Because you have an excellent set of bylaws right now that need a lot of, in my opinion, some tweaking to make them more, so you don't have these questions that you're asking each and every time and spending time on. And in addition, then all you gotta do is refer to your bylaws. What does it say? And move on from there. You can always bring it up on your agenda for the next meeting if you want to change it. When funding senior programs and evaluating financial records of senior centers, the council members have to consider three things. Political campaign activity. You cannot represent anybody else politically or have someone come unless you have the equal side of someone else come. You can sponsor that, but you can't give monies. That's against your 501c3. Also, any unrelated business income, which is UBI. And your treasurer or accountant, if you have one, has to be really familiar in what that is, because the codes for a 501c3 are much different than just as an individual, what you can claim. And a private benefit. You can't do anything as a private person, it's as a group. Finances cannot benefit any individual person or organization. The income must be related to your mission. When you do any fundraising, the fundraising has to go back to what your mission is. So that's a kind of a fine line there, and once you consider when you're giving monies to senior centers, if that is being directly done correctly. The income has to be related to your mission. No individual council member can approve any expenditure. It has to be the whole council. It has to be brought back to the council to be approved. You can't just go to any officer or someone say, I want to have this approved, and they say, okay, go ahead and go buy it. You can't do that. It has to come back because you're all part of a team. So the team has to make the decision. All council members must be able to state correctly the mission of the organization. Regarding member behavior, no one can call a council meeting except the president. If a member has an item they want to discuss, that member follows the rules and procedures and puts the item on the agenda. All of these things were talked about in the training, so those of you that lived through 2 hours of training have heard this before. No council member should come to any meeting full of surprises with adversarial behavior and decisions already made expecting to be carried out in the meeting. Council members must have a working knowledge of how to assemble qualified candidates, and that's what you're dealing with right now, so that councils, when vacancies occur, can be filled with the same qualifications of everyone, so that it's fair and equal. They must not only determine the skills necessary, but look for natural leaders. Council members must ensure that their not-profit continues to serve the public good by keeping records and receipts that document senior programs. I think you found that out in the quote procedure, which I love what Judy called it. I called it an audit too. I thought it was an audit, but it was a
Everybody
procedure.
thought it was an audit. The commissioner thought it was an
But we
audit.
couldn't do an audit. The reason it couldn't be done is because you didn't have procedures in place. And that had to do with how the senior centers did their accounting. And that is clearly stated in the forms that you got back. So that's what you really need to look at, is how do you do your accounting? How do you account for it? What things can you save? Just like when you do your own income tax, you gotta save your receipts to prove what you did. And that same is true, and even more so in a 501c3. Council members must practice the rules and procedures as stated in the organization's bylaws. The bylaws are really, really an important document. The president should explain ground rules for conducting a meeting, the meeting process, and how the comments are permitted. No one person should document or manipulate or monopolize the conversation at your council meeting. In fact, some, like maybe you can go here in town and on Main Street and go to some other meetings, and you'll see that each person on a board has an equal opportunity to state what they think, or they can pass. But they have a time that they can respond to whatever issue you're talking about. Term limits, and I think this is important and why I wanted to say about it. Term limits should be enforced by placing a member's term right next to their name on the roll call list. That way you never have a question about all of this, of like who I started here and I started there. Otherwise it appears too easy for everyone to forget how long they've been on the council or when their term ends. And I put an example of like Jack Frost, and in parentheses, term 2, which means your second time, ends January 2019, or term 1 ends January. That tells that person immediately and everybody at your meeting when the position is going to be coming open. And it just is a formal way that every time you don't have to go back and look at who signed in and who did what, but it's right there in your roll call list. And we've asked that several, like the last 3 meetings. Well, this is the 3rd meeting that it's been asked about. When do we do this? When do we go home? President calls the meeting. Usually when you start the meeting, for parliamentary procedure, usually there's something that you do. You bang on the table, you start it. A lot of places do the Pledge of Allegiance. In this case, I would recommend you do your mission statement. So you drill in exactly what is your purpose of your council. And be reminded that no one member can act or speak for the council without authority being given to them by motion in your meetings. Robert's Rules of Order is an instructional manual, and you can refer to it at any time for any questions that you have, because you have adopted using Robert's Rules of Order in your bylaws. Let's see. If you have someone that keeps saying and not talking and not listening to the president, and the president saying, I'm going to call the meeting back to order, the president has to be firm and warn the person that he or she is out of order. For example, council member, and that you would say their name, I have asked you to refrain from interrupting and raising your voice 3 times, and yet you refuse to comply. And that information with that person's name has to be put in your minutes. Your minutes document what you do. Your minutes are so important. The secretary's position is so important because that is what can be used in a court of law. So if someone should say, hey, you said this and you were supposed to be in executive session, but you talked about me outside of that, they can bring that back as a discrimination suit. So protect yourselves. End of story.
All right.
You're on the way to doing a lot of things, and I would just really encourage you to read that information that's in there. Paul?
Who's taking notes today?
Nancy.
What?
Nancy's doing it like she did last time.
Gosh.
Did you get that, Nancy?
Yes.
Are you
I'm
gonna
gonna
make copies and
ask-
give that to
I'll
everybody?
leave that up to Jan, what she's gonna do, but
we go back, we were talking about bylaws. I was asked on the street, and members,
Get
there
Bob
shall
one.
be
He
seven
wants one.
I'm sure he
council
does.
members
He does.
with 70% being 60 years or older.
That's after you get your applications, you're gonna have to decide that.
But I was trying to let this be known. Someone on the street asked me specifically about that, okay? We'll drop it there.
Okay, all right.
So, can we go back to the bylaws then?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right. Are we gonna go by these bylaws or not? Are there gonna be three, if you miss 3 meetings, you're gone? Or are we gonna change them?
well, that's what you'll have to decide if you
Well,
want
that's
to
what I'm
make a
asking
change.
you. Should-
Okay,
should we
they
make-
are supposed to be changed in January.
January. Okay? So we can't change them now.
Well, if you make a motion, you can.
Yeah, you can make a motion.
And mine says
So-
unexcused. I haven't found
That's what
the
mine
regular.
says.
The
That's
old
what mine
ones,
says,
the old ones say
unexcused.
that, and some of you took some of the information out of the notebooks, and some of you didn't leave stuff in the notebooks, and both the old one and the new one.
I have
were there.
found like 5 copies of the bylaws, and it's like,
I know.
because every month they were handed out again, and it's like, I didn't
Well,
put dates on what.
I'll tell you what.
Yes, they were, Judy, you're right. They were handed out each month.
Can we take the bylaws out of here and take them home and read them?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, that's what I would suggest we do. Everybody on the board review the bylaws.
Okay.
And next time, let's come back and, I don't care, mark it up, do whatever you want.
Bob could, started to make a motion, and you could say, I move, we look at the bylaws and come back with information, and finish that. He started to make a motion.
Do you wanna do that? Do you wanna do that, Bob? Make a motion that
We
we,
need to do that.
everybody needs to take their bylaws, review them, scribble them up, whatever you wanna do, and bring them back next time, okay? They should be in your notebook somewhere.
Yeah, they need to make sure they get the
Asked him-
right
Right,
bylaws.
right, well, or get the old ones and the new ones,
That's why
and
they were
compare.
put in the notebook that way,
Yeah.
but some
Yeah.
people took stuff out of the
They
notebooks
should be in there?
without understanding.
Okay.
Should say that.
here's the bylaw.
Yeah,
I don't think
Bob, do you want
they
that, is that how you
copy
want your motion
One for their
worded?
book and one for
Well,
the records
let's
here.
discuss this just a little bit.
Their own book is their own
Are we
responsibility.
gonna-
This is the notebook,
are we
and that's
gonna-
what you go by, their council.
Well, yeah, but
Change
if
the
you have
bylaws,
everything there, and then
We
like
have to
they
vote
a
on
copy
it, right? Make a motion
their
and
book.
vote on it.
And it, you have to
I mean,
notify
one more paper,
everybody
but
2
we
weeks
got
in
it.
advance.
Yes.
In
3
here.
months in a row.
The whole thing I say is, we're in such a transition right now. It makes me uncomfortable to change this. Yes, maybe it needs. But we're also trying to get people, I don't know, this is turning into a big headache, I'm sorry.
Where's the math?
It took, is it every year you do it,
I
or
see.
every 2 years you would do it?
No. Is there a
I think
reason-
it was
is there a
every
reason
two.
that The bylaws.
Every
A
2
writ-
years.
Now I'm
Judy would know,
going
she was
back
on the
to
committee.
original. In 2015, it said, or maybe it was, pardon me, maybe it's in the policy procedures, that this be brought up in January and done. And then, this was Mike Cracky last year. I brought it up like March, and he's like, our time is over and done with. Well, yeah. We
Okay,
ended up,
Bob, they
later in
should
the
be-
year, we changed it, so.
They should be in the back where you have your commissioner district map. And then this
Right there.
shows, yes, as amended August 28th, 2018.
Yeah, that's what mine said.
Okay.
That's what mine said.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
And take one more page, cause you want the map.
Right, we'll take all these.
Yeah,
No, go one more page backwards.
yeah, take the map
You want
with you,
that map
because
too.
that's referred to.
Okay.
Okay, then right behind that are the,
Yeah.
okay. So take that, and study that.
Okay. So what we're
If you
saying,
wanna is that what you wanna make for your motion, that we study it and bring it back next time?
I'll make a motion that we go back and study the bylaws completely before we make a determination on the termination of Liz Winkler and Charlene Watson.
Oh, okay.
Because of the way it reads now, they're gone. So we don't want to do that. So I'll make the motion that we go,
They're gone anyway because of their terms, but you're talking about whether they're gone off of your council ballot. Like there's
Right.
For 2 months, they'll be gone.
Yeah, that's
They're
right.
gonna be gone.
Yeah,
That's right. They're gone.
Yeah.
so I really don't have to make a motion to do it.
I
yeah,
guess it's
see,
not
Liz is,
about that anyway, because they have to go off after
In
2
de-
Yeah.
December 31st, they have to go
Right,
off.
I
you
understand
have
that.
to go off.
I understand that. Okay.
Then you're gonna bring on more new members.
Yeah, then
Unless
we
they
need to
want-
bring on.
And let's
Unless-
sign them
So,
back.
And shouldn't you kinda wait till January to
yes,
I think so.
renew the
Bylaws,
the
that's what Judy
bylaws
said earlier.
because you've got,
it's supposed to
That's
be
what
every
Judy said
January.
earlier. Let's just
Two
wait.
years, January.
I think we have
Okay,
more
do
pressing
you wanna,
matters.
yeah, do you
I'm not gonna
wanna,
make a motion, no.
okay, you don't, so you
I'll
don't wanna
rescind that
study
motion.
them
I'll
now?
rescind that motion.
Okay.
You could still study them just for principle.
Yeah, I still wanna go.
thank you.
Judy makes a good
Okay,
point.
I got
So
it.
what do you want in the minutes? Do you want everyone to review the bylaws or just strike it?
Just review the bylaws.
Okay,
Just- yeah.
everyone review
Yeah,
bylaws,
That's a good idea.
Mhm.
okay.
Okay.
That's new business.
Okay, new business. And these two things probably, these next two things probably go together. Do we want to advertise, or try to recruit? Nancy, can I make a copy of this and then I'll get it back to you?
That would be
Okay,
fine.
all right, I'll make you that. I somehow. Do you want to advertise or recruit for a new director? And then, also discuss the pros and cons of retaining the office on Court Street.
You're crazy, retain the office on Court Street.
Okay, let's take one thing at a time. Let's take one thing at a time. We do need to advertise for a new coordinator. Know what you asked me?
Mm-hmm.
Know what you asked us? I'll make a motion. I move to make a motion.
I moved to
I
make a
move-
motion,
I
all
move to
right.
make a motion that we advertise for a LCCA coordinator. In the next 2 weeks. Or right away. How would you say that?
Yeah, I'd say for 2 weeks or even for a month, I mean, that's,
Okay?
When
Yeah,
was
okay.
the
We need to-
term of Teresa over? Was that January?
But she sent
We
a letter
said, but
resignation,
she
sent a
has
letter
not
resignation.
been around.
She resigned.
but we haven't
I'm just
seen it.
wondering if your new council members should have some say in this, if there are new council members.
No, and it needs to be effective immediately. Seriously.
It's-
Because right now, open
You need to make
enrollment
the
is here.
decision of the salary, the time, all of those things before you advertise.
Right.
So you're legal.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too, if we need to.
There is a job
responsibility.
description, because I did a Cora, and there was a job description for Teresa that's
Yeah, I don't think
available.
it came from the council, it came from Manhattan. So
I don't know where
would
it came
suggest
from.
the council has a job description.
But they
That would be
kinda
my
have
opinion.
a guideline,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Salary, hours,
Well,
vacation.
that's gonna be on the job application. So we wanna advertise, we can't put that in the paper, we're gonna pay so much an hour, or what your hour's gonna be. We need to have interviews for that position.
Right.
So,
You're supposed to. put
so what
that.
I'm saying, we need to advertise for a LCCA coordinator in Lincoln County. And the pay, and the hour that we discussed. I would think that'd be the way to do that. You can't put that in the paper, how much
You
you're
can't
gonna
put
pay.
the whole thing in the paper,
No.
no.
Well, you do put that in the paper. It's, look in your Lincoln Sentinel. Every position the county advertises tells you how much it's paid, what it starts, what the pay
What
starts
the
at.
pay start is.
I think it depends on the experience.
Yeah,
Well, this you only
I
have to
think
have
you need to
a
make a decision over what you want in an area coordinator.
And you need the hours that you're gonna,
Yes.
They post the salary, they'll get a lot of applicants and all the benefits. That was crazy. So if they post that, they'll have everybody in town applying.
yeah,
right.
but they're going part-time.
I know.
It's not being full-time.
Well, I'm just saying.
I wanna see the hours
There's no
be,
benefits when you're part-time. There's no benefits when you're part-time.
I don't
No,
know,
I know,
do we
but I'm
discuss
saying-
all of this now? Or do we have a special meeting strictly to no, that's not the word I
Discuss the
want.
qualifications.
There.
One
For,
of the things I see as an outsider coming in to these meetings is everything gets put off. Everything gets put off. You talk about whatever, we'll do that next time, or we don't have the paperwork here or something. And it never materializes, cause you come to
okay, I'm
the
gonna
next meeting.
think right now, Becky has stepped up, is getting open enrollment, Sylvan. She's been answering the phone, cause she was able to set up the answering
Schedule.
machine over there. So I wanna thank her for stepping up to,
The plate, yeah.
for this void that we're having.
Is it required to advertise for this if you know somebody wants the position?
Yes.
We are an equal
Opportunity.
opportunity employer, so we have to.
Yeah,
That's why
we
it's
have to.
important to know your 501c3, because you can't, you're gonna lose your 501c3, which both senior centers have done in the past, because they haven't followed what you do with employees.
As for the health department, we worked carefully and did a lot with Teresa that we have no idea where to refer anybody to right now. And I think it needs to be filled as soon as possible,
I do too.
because there's people out there that are in need of what Teresa helped them with.
Well, you got a timeline for when they
Right,
can
we got it,
change
yeah.
all this.
Then you gotta train them.
I think you need to call a special order or meeting and discuss what the qualifications are for this job. You know, if you take time to do it here, you're here all day in a meeting.
And you weren't prepared to do that today.
No,
No, we weren't. We weren't.
Know what they keep putting.
Okay.
A special meeting is
Make a
gonna be
motion,
like a
Lord.
week or so from now.
Make a motion.
I move that you call a special meeting to discuss the qualifications for this new job.
Coordinator.
When?
Okay. Any suggestions for when?
Well, the sooner the better, because you're running out of time. I would say next week,
It's Tuesday.
on a Tuesday.
Well, the only thing bad, I'm just gonna, on the newspaper standpoint, like if you wait till Tuesday to decide and put it in, like it won't get in till the next week.
All
Our
right.
deadlines are Friday at noon, and if we know you're gonna be putting in an ad, we can sometimes finagle those in on Monday, but like yesterday, our paper was done for this week.
Well, can't we go ahead and put an ad in
That's true.
today? And
No,
then-
the paper's gone, I mean,
Well,
they
I
are moving to print like probably right now,
Yeah,
so.
but I meant, go ahead and put the ad in and then go ahead and have the special meeting and
Yes,
have the qualifications.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that don't need to go in the paper.
No, because even like when we did for the cook here, it was just a part-time position. You know, so we didn't put all everything in it
Yeah.
either.
But also on those things, you hired before the ad came out too, so you gotta be careful not to hire somebody before the ad comes
Yeah.
out.
Okay. I would like to see it this week. I know there's a conflict with you because you leave town a lot.
And they haven't called me yet, Judy, so we have to have a meeting. Let's just,
And it cannot be Thursday. There's open enrollment in Sylvan. I was one of the volunteers. I still don't know if there's
So far,
any.
you don't have anybody to take.
Good. I had something else in the works, so. Then this week is all, I say we have another meeting this week.
Just to discuss what we want.
And truthfully, Wednesday or Thursday, so that we could meet their deadline of Friday noon
Mhm.
to have it in the paper. This is,
Well, this is Tuesday, you talking about tomorrow or?
yeah,
Tomorrow or Thursday.
what do I need? I make a no, I propose, I move.
One of the above.
Jesus. Okay, wait a minute, Bob has made a motion.
And he withdrew the.
Well, this is to advertise for the coordinator. We haven't finished that one.
Finished
Then
that one
Marge
yet.
made a motion, call a special meeting, and we've not finished that one.
Discuss the benefits of
Yeah.
coordinating.
Okay,
So,
Bob's motion, what are we doing on it?
to advertise for LCCA coordinator.
Okay.
I think we go ahead and put that in the paper. I mean, get that
I think so,
started,
too.
then we can have the meeting tomorrow, Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday, or
So you second it?
I second it,
There you
Okay,
go.
Okay,
okay.
All of you. Go ahead, Jan.
Okay, all right, everybody understand the motion. We're gonna get the ad in the paper, and then we're going to meet to discuss qualifications. Okay, all in favor of that motion, raise your right hand. Opposed? Okay, all right, now, what day do we wanna meet?
In the morning.
Tomorrow, Wednesday? Is that affirmed with everybody?
Okay.
Anybody have anything Wednesday?
I got something, but I hadn't got my calendar.
I don't think I can do it tomorrow.
Huh?
I don't think I can do it tomorrow.
Thursday?
Thursday, I could, but
Thursday?
I propose we have a special meeting on Thursday to discuss,
What time? 9 o'clock is better for me.
yeah,
Or
let's make
afternoon.
this at 9 so
Yeah.
that two people can eat.
okay.
The qualifications for a new
director.
director or coordinator?
Coordinator.
I'm not sure what
I second it.
oh, good.
Okay. Marge is the one that made the motion to call a special meeting
Oh,
for
okay.
this.
I second that one.
So,
And she seconded it. Then I made the meaning that it'll propose that it'll be
Propose,
Thursday.
you need to say I move.
Um,
Propose is just you propose something, it isn't a motion.
Okay, well, let's go, Marge's motion first, right? That we have a special meeting and you seconded
Yeah, I
it.
second it.
Okay, all in favor of that motion, raise your right hand. Okay, then, Judy,
I
and
move
you with
that we have a meeting at 9 a.m. Thursday, the October 25th, to discuss
qualification.
qualification,
Description.
That's it.
Just say.
Description of the job.
Description.
Yeah,
the
description of the
To
job
formulate a
for,
job description, how's that?
Yeah, job description covers it all. All you
Okay.
gotta do is,
We're going
Do
to
that.
formulate a job description. Okay, is there a second to Judy's motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, everybody understand?
So you-
Thursday
you'll
at
be here
9.
Thursday.
I'll be here Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday. What if I have to be excused? Oh, no, we're going at 9.
Yes.
I know what I got on Thursday. It's at 2.
Oh, good. Okay, all in favor of that motion?
He gives me permission.
Right. Okay, motion
I can do it
passed.
myself, I do it anyway.
Okay.
But
Now, do we also, want to just, write down,
what about the building?
okay, everybody write down pros and cons for keeping the office on Court Street.
What's the amount of rent you pay?
200.
$200 a month,
$200.
plus
You have a
utilities,
lease?
plus the phone bill.
why would you keep the
why would
building?
you, it's not even
Why
the
do you wanna
fire,
keep it,
the
Jan?
fire code is out.
What?
The fire code, it does not qualify for that building to have that meeting.
there's too many people in the building for.
If you got that, if you're gonna keep the building, you cannot have people come to your meeting because of the fire code.
It's not big enough.
It's been,
There's too many people.
I said
for
that
Oh,
before
okay.
they even rented it.
Jan,
Okay, you mean to have our meeting?
To have your
Yeah.
meeting and stuff in that building, or other meetings which requires more than so many people, you're off of the fire code.
Okay.
I mean,
But
you're liable.
How about though, as retaining it as an office for her to meet clients?
why?
I don't think that's,
I
I
don't think it's
cannot
necessary.
find one person that wants confidentiality. In fact, some of them come out and talk some stuff. Well, really, so you're the one that,
Uh-huh.
So Jan, the whole point is, why should
That's
we
the
keep that
law,
building
Jamie,
at an
is
expense
confidential items.
when
That's
we
the
could be
HIPAA law.
here
Just
if
prove
so
that
They
allowed?
can
you
do
know
it.
the
They
HIPAA
can
law.
They have a
meetings
room.
in the
We save that much money.
afternoon.
It's in
You
the
It's
know.
money that
center.
seniors would have
What?
It's not with the council of aging.
in their coffers instead of
Yeah, but if
paying
they
it out
come
something we
back,
don't need.
there's a room.
Okay.
Why would you want, you tell me why you want to
Okay.
keep it.
We'll have to
I
ask
don't-
Becky if this place is rented.
I
If this place is
moved-
Yeah,
rented.
but if you lock this door,
I move
you know,
that we
it's like a lawyer's
ask
office, they take you into a room.
the Lincoln Senior Center to be allowed to move back January 1st into this room.
Who's gonna move it?
I'll move it.
I'll have I've got trouble lifting a lot, but I've got a pickup that I'll use.
You
Here's-
gotta
okay,
discuss
our
it with
time.
Becky first.
It
But
has-
My board has to tell, I don't know
Yeah.
me.
I made a motion, it hasn't been seconded, to ask her. We haven't gotten the motion made yet.
You made the motion? to move
Yes.
it
You
back
mean you
here?
haven't got
Say
it
the
voted on yet?
I'll
Say the
second that,
motion
that we
again.
move the building back
To
over
ask
here.
Lincoln Senior Center to,
Be allowed January 1st to move back in this room.
okay.
And
You
I'm
mean-
saying
you mean-
January 1st because it's rented for the month of December.
Okay, now,
And then, in all fairness, this is letting Roger know that we will be vacating and he needs to
You need to pay
make
the
arrangements to rent the bit. But anyway, we don't know, we gotta ask her.
Not me, my board.
No, the board.
The
board.
Yeah.
But I'll second your motion, that we,
Okay, do you have that?
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
her
They just
decision.
redid it.
okay, I'm not, all right. But in the, all right, okay. I want people to think about the privacy.
wasn't here for 13 years without any problems. And only reason we have,
13.
only reason we have problems now is because I asked to be, had her accountable for her time. That's the only reason that she moved. Because so people couldn't see what the hell she's doing over there. She had privacy, the doors were locked, she locked these doors, she wouldn't even go over there. So there's nothing wrong with having it here, Jan. There's plenty of privacy right here. Just lock
Do we
that
have
door.
room?
It's a part-time job. They can schedule it in the afternoons, and there's nothing over there in the afternoons. So why wouldn't it be private here?
Very
That's a
few
good
cars
idea.
on the
Afternoon
street.
hours
And that is not handicap accessible. The one that's on the driveway,
for part-time.
snow and
It's not
ice, that's
gonna
up
be
to us to
full-time.
remove, and that wouldn't be done. So it's not.
Now, the walnuts have been removed.
Judy
I
slept-
saw that too.
Judy slept.
Yeah.
But that's the reason, Jan.
Made my granddaughter go sweep it as community service.
But anyway,
But
Okay,
you have a good
uh,
idea there about the afternoon.
The
when it's-
privacy,
With the
yeah.
privacy, when it's closed at 1 o'clock. So then,
That's close.
if you're part-timing this position, have it be in the afternoon.
1 to
That's a
5,
good
if
idea.
that's a part-time, 1 to 5, 5 days a week, that's 20 hours. That isn't too hard to figure.
Okay, that's something we'll discuss at our,
Yeah.
at
no, we're
our
not gonna discuss it. We're
special
gonna-
meeting, okay?
A motion's been made to move
Okay.
back over here.
To ask the Lincoln Senior
you
Center
have
to
to
allow
Yeah.
us to move back during
You
the
have to
weekend.
have everybody
Okay.
on the board okay it though. Well,
Well,
made
it has
the
to vote
motion.
on it.
He
It's been
seconded.
moved and seconded to, ask the senior center to allow the, council on aging office, coordinator to move back here and after January 1st. Okay, everybody understand the motion?
In the afternoon hours.
In the afternoon hours, yes. Be sure to put that in the motion, Nancy. Okay. All right, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? Okay. All right, now, our meeting will be Thursday at 9 to discuss our advertisement and recruitment for the new director
Qualifications.
and qualifications. Okay.
Oh. Is it all right if we meet here?
She has to ask her board.
Oh, no, tomorrow?
No,
Thursday.
Thursday.
It's fine, I think.
No, I think, I have a program coming at lunchtime, but she would be not here till like 11:15.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on that? Okay, we'll work on that Thursday. All right. Do we have any other new business?
Old
Old
business.
business, we do.
Yeah, plenty of old.
Sylvan Senior Center. Judy and I volunteered last month to look into their financial, asking for $4,000 to finish out their 2017 budget year, so.
Yeah.
So we need to talk about
Well,
that.
go ahead.
Okay, did we,
And the whole thing was, excuse me,
Okay, go ahead.
and I'm reading this from Nancy. Recently, a representative from our membership appeared before the Lincoln County Commissioner and asked to receive the $4,000 still owed us from 2017 that was approved by the LCCA. Our books have been made open to the public for their inspection, and yours, and the audit was confirmed, not an audit. The proposal was confirmed that all is in order. The commissioners agreed that the Sylvan Senior Center, since the proposal has been completed, is in compliance and has met all demands made in order to receive the money owed. They instructed us to contact the LCCA since the funds had already been appropriated to the organization. They said that the now LCCA should follow through with dispersing the Sylvan Senior Center money of $4,000 for 2017. We are writing to ask that you follow their directive and give us, to us, the mill levy money that has been set aside from our budget. Please address this as soon as possible. And we talked about this last month, and it's supposed to be discussed this month. So, that's.
Yeah, because Judy made a motion that we
Yes.
research it, and so she and I did it.
all right,
You want to report, Judy?
and you found what amount?
We had-
Truthfully, some of the recording is, we approve minutes, but it's not always in there the exact amount that is paid for this, and this. Anyway, we have agreed with the 4,000. Where's the letter you composed? No,
No, but we feel that, they should sign saying that this is the full amount of the 4,000. The Sylvan Grove Senior Center accepts the amount of $4,000 from the Lincoln County Council on Aging as payment in full for the 2017 budget year. We found that they did not get, their budget, amounts that were paid to them was non-budget items. And so we feel that we do owe them $4,000.
but we want them to sign the paper that they cannot come back and say they got more money,
They should
Coming.
have.
or asking for
Asking for
for
more money.
2017.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
just 2017 we're talking about.
Because they only received 2,000, a little over 2,000, of their budget. And so they've had to use their private money to pay their utilities and insurances, because I went and looked at their books and stuff. And so we feel that they are owed that. And so I'm going to make a motion that we pay Sylvan Senior Center the $4,000 for the year 2017 budget.
And make them sign.
And yes, and have them sign.
I'll second.
Okay, and do we need to have that signed before
I think when we take the check to them, they will sign it.
Okay,
They
Since
will.
that's what they asked for.
Have to.
Is there any discussion?
Okay, any questions on the motion? All right,
Because after you have a second, you have a discussion.
okay, yeah, we have a second.
Just trying to hang in there on
Okay.
this parliamentary procedure. But
I seconded it.
I know, after it's seconded, then the president says,
Any,
is there
any other
discussion?
discussion?
We have to vote on it.
Well,
Or
and then, I'm assuming that the two people that did that met with Terry, because Terry said at your last meeting that he had those papers that showed
No,
how much.
No,
And he
I
has
went and
not-
I looked at things and Terry is out of order.
Well, Terry said himself in his letter that it's the LCCA, it was
Right,
holding the money.
He said
It's
that.
not the county commissioners.
And
So
he
it's
said
up
he
to
could
us to
not-
pay it.
Yeah, he,
So, and because the money was
Based on-
held,
Based on
So-
how much they had been paid, which I haven't heard any figures given.
yeah, well, it's quite a bit. But even this month, this year is quite a bit.
Can we
So-
put that in the minutes then? Because there's been a complaint that those things aren't in the minutes. So how much were they paid in 2017 in addition to the $4,000 you're giving them?
Well, wasn't that in the minutes from 9/25? You read the records and the exact amount paid to them was $10,500.
okay, the amount of budgeted was $2,503.69 they were paid. The rest of it was all non-budgeted. And we have paid non-budgeted items to the Lincoln Senior Center too, above, you know, what. So we feel that it is more than fair that they should have the $4,000 that they've had to take out of their private money for insurance and
And how much was the amount of non-budgeted?
the non-budgeted,
What's the floor?
okay, there was $4,692.30, no, there was $3,515 and $3,022.47 was non-budgeted. And $50.44 was non-budgeted. I don't have a grand total, but those are the three items that were non-budgeted.
So it's over $7,000
I'm just
non-budgeted.
trying to get that $10,500 figure.
No,
That's where Terry had a wrong figure.
But
Well,
what
he
Terry was
brought
saying,
those things up.
they were paid $10,000.
And what I went by was the financials that are given here each month. Plus, I also went to Sylvan and looked at theirs, and what is on here, they did get. But if you look here, it shows non-budgeted and budgeted. So we've looked at everything.
Almost
So
25.
the motion's been made
And
and
seconded.
seconded,
Okay,
so now we need to vote.
okay, would you state the motion again, Bob?
Go ahead.
I made the motion to pay Sylvan Senior Center the $4,000 to finish out the 2017 budget year
Okay, and we had a
as
second.
paid in full.
And we had a second.
And Judy
Okay.
seconded.
Okay. Everybody understand the motion? Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand.
I wasn't here last night, so.
Okay, opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, now, I'm going to have to, what time is that?
That's
In a few minutes.
25 till.
Okay, I'm gonna have to leave in a few minutes, okay?
Now, who can write the check?
Jan can write the check.
I will, and I will, call you and get the correct address for the Silver
Well,
Senior
I'd like
Center.
to take it and
Because
have them
we want this
sign. We
signed.
want them to sign
We want
this.
it done.
So,
Oh, okay. Well, this checkbook's over there, and I've gotta go deliver mail in a few
okay,
minutes. so-
well,
Not
how
tomorrow.
about Thursday
Thursday, yes,
when we meet?
yes, let's do it then.
Okay, and then I can take it, the check and this, and they will sign it.
Okay, all right. Now, before we get to Rose's, any other old business?
Yeah, I'm in the crowd, but I don't like the idea. I think that you should ask for accountability all the time. This thing of paying and no receipts, I don't agree with. Haven't agreed with since I came back to Lincoln. And I think that there should be some form of accountability of what you paid Teresa to sign off. She had 144 hours of vacation time. In the first 3 months, she had used 8 hours of it, which isn't a lot, but there was still, you go from March until October, there's all those months of vacation that she used because she went to grandson's thing, she helped her husband at the hospital, blah, 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 blah. I think the board should know how much they paid in vacation pay at closing. I think the board should know how much they paid in sick leave to her. I think the accountability, I'm very much into the accountability where the money goes. She also had an IRA that they paid in April. She got 4% of her salary in April. I don't know if that was figured for the whole year or if they broke it down. She got $11.50 an hour. I know because I did a core on her. And I had the paperwork up to date till March. So all I'm asking is accountability. How much money they paid her, why, I don't understand. I've worked many, many places. I don't understand that you're gonna resign and you get this. I just think everybody needs to know what's going on.
And I agree.
But we cannot go
And
and
I
go
agree that
back
also
and
for the
get money.
senior center,
I'm
so
not
much
saying
needs to
going
be
back
said.
and getting money.
Okay.
But
Well-
somebody needs to be accountable
I'm not
for that money
saying-
that was paid out
Yes.
Did
over
any-
It's
Did
some limit.
anybody hear me say I
Yes.
think she
No.
should refund the money? The
Okay.
thing
But somebody's
is,
gotta be
I
accountable for
think
that
that
money.
has to be
It's state money.
accountability for any money. And not only for that, in the future, you turn in a bill, you have a receipt, you turn it in. You don't wait 6 months. I know that the senior center paid for supplies, $180. The bill was over a year old. Well, you pay it. Why do you pay it? You don't even have a receipt for it, let alone the product. And she got $180 because she said they owed her $180. Now, if I come in here and say to you, you owe me $180 because I bought some stuff for the senior center, and I don't know what I did with the receipt, but you owe me. Well, I'm sorry, you gotta have a receipt or you don't pay the bill. And I think the board ought to look at it that way. This is senior citizens' money. It isn't your money. If you're gonna pay it out of your account, that's fine, but don't be paying it out of mine. I'm sorry, I
have
just
that,
think the accountability thing
And
is
that's what was
slipshod.
brought up in the procedures, is that
Jan, you
receipts
got
hadn't
this.
been
You
kept
got
for
this for
senior
last-
centers.
And they
Yeah.
should be
This is
approved
January,
before
February,
it's bought.
March. That's your
And well,
time.
it should be approved
We need-
before
we need
it's paid for.
April, May,
Absolutely.
June,
Yeah.
July,
And I-
August,
you know,
September,
I'm gonna-
October.
In your minutes.
I'm
Your
gonna
time.
hammer this
So
down
you-
because it
you wrote
isn't
her-
done.
you wrote
It's
her
never
check.
away.
for the $100.
Yeah,
All right.
but I have
And they
never
ru- I mean-
seen that.
I've never seen that before either.
You never seen it?
No.
She makes that out every month. So she should have showed that to you.
Did you ever get the written letter that she resigned?
No, I haven't gotten that yet.
Okay.
And
So
I
you don't know
requested
if
it.
she's
Here's the
resigned.
kicker,
I thought
Jan.
she
If
resigned.
you
She
paid
sent
her
a
so
letter
many-
of resignation.
paid her
I
any
can go
amount
in
of
there
money.
and get the cores
That's
that I've
over.
had.
That's over what she's owed. Somebody has to be accountable for that money because that's mill levy
Yeah.
money.
That's state money.
Who is gonna be doing that? Because
And another thing-
when you wrote that, now we're having a discussion. Don't write this down.
Okay, well,
We're still on video, so.
okay, well, nevertheless, I need to go and deliver meals. I'm sorry, but I have people waiting for meals. Next,
And we don't have a senior vice president to take
No.
over the meeting.
So you're gonna have to adjourn.
are you going to, let's see, Thanksgiving is on the 22nd, always on the fourth Thursday, right?
So, of course,
Okay, so we'll be
Tuesday.
okay with our meeting on November the 27th?
Changing subject on-
Fourth Tuesday, not Thursday.
Why would you pay before you give us your,
Why are
Letter
we
of
changing the
resignation.
subject on this when we were
Nobody else was
talking
there.
about
Right.
paying?
Nobody, I don't know if there's any other
What
executive board
is
members
I
there.
don't know when.
November 27th.
I have had it.
All right, but Jan, you will bring the check book Thursday? You bring the check
Yes,
Thursday?
yes, I'll go get it
And,
and bring it.
and, that way you'll know what you paid her, so we can have that discussion.
Mhm.
All right.
Now, is this an open meeting or a closed for executive?
No,
What?
we aren't having an executive.
No, it's
She
not
has to
executive.
leave,
It's
but we
not
wanna
coordinated.
listen to Rose.
Oh. I don't have a whole lot, so good for you.
Rose,
And I'm on the agenda also still.
Okay, so just a reminder about Medicare open enrollment, because October 15th through December 7th, make sure you run your prescription drug plan through, even if you're happy with what you have. It's free to do that. You might save yourself some dollars. Sylvan is doing it October 25th. Lincoln is December 5th. You can call Manhattan. They have SHIC people there. If you can't get to one of the meetings,
They can do it over the phone.
they can do it over the phone. You can go to your pharmacies. They can do it. Those people who have,
why is it every time we have open enrollment that our prices go up on our insurance?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do we need to talk to our senators and congressmen about that?
Yeah, but now,
We're seniors, we're not making any money.
I
I mean,
know.
we're at one fixed income.
Well, the thing of it is, you know where your money's going. Here you don't.
That does need to be
Not to
discussed.
mention
I
that
mean,
again,
that's,
but.
I continue to
Okay,
hammer down.
I'm sorry,
totally
I didn't mean to
agree with
interrupt
that.
you, Rose.
That's fine. There's not a whole lot going on. There's a big thank you for Sunflower Fair, of course, because it was a really nice turnout. Hopefully some of you got to go. Family Caregiver Talk Show is gonna happen Wednesday, November 25th. It's gonna be on stress relief for caregivers. They've been doing a lot about caregivers lately. And you know, if you were a caregiver or are a caregiver, there's a lot of stress in that. So any advice to you is always helpful. Tai Chi is happening at Salina. I don't think there's anything close around here right now. The advocacy update, there really isn't anything new. I know they're working on the new budget. I don't know if you've heard anything about it. I haven't heard nothing. Other than, the House of Representatives did pass a bipartisan bill and they gave, which included $10 million increase to the Older Americans Act. But that's just to finish out 2018. Plus, they did another short-term continuing resolution, which that's what they're known for. They keep doing that so they don't have to pass a budget. We just want to make sure they continue to give us funds through the Older Americans Act.
Can I ask a question? On this regarding your volunteer, what's AAA?
That's us. North Central Flint Hills.
Is AAA?
Does it say AAA?
Help the AAA claim Older Americans Act funding.
Oh, Older Americans Act funding.
But that AAA, what does that mean?
Wait, let me see where you're looking.
Okay,
Area
Page
agency.
4.
Oh,
Page
yeah,
4.
area ag-
Area agency.
That's your core.
Acronym test.
Area agency, okay, now I,
Make a copy and pass it around.
Yeah.
It's
Do that.
an auto insurance company.
I know, I go to a lot of places and like, well, call AAA, and I'm like, no, we're not AAA.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it suddenly
okay.
dawned on me.
I have not heard what they found out at these CanCare meetings. I would love to have heard that, to know where we're going on that. And then they had Medicaid expansion informational meetings, which I haven't heard anything on that either. Especially for silver-haired legislators, is the Medicaid expansion. That's very important, I believe. You're gonna get a silver-haired legislator report? That was a big one, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
That was a great big one. And truthfully, other than that, we really don't have a lot in here this month, so just be sure you do your prescription drug plan.
Where do you do that?
And there also is this form in here that makes it easier for, your SHIC volunteer or someone that's doing your plan for you. If you fill it out with all your prescriptions ahead of time and take it in there, then they can just plug it into the computer easily.
That's
Marge,
enough
you didn't
to
get that letter with that in it?
Your
From Medicare?
pharmacy can help you with it.
Yes, your pharmacy can do it, extension offices do it.
Well, you
Medicare's
know,
not
when you
sorry.
figure, I figured up, I got a letter from Blue Cross. My, it's gone down like $4. I am paying.
What?
Wow. Yeah, I'm paying around almost $500 a month
Wow.
for my prescription, for the dental, for the,
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Stuff.
oh, okay.
you know, that's, and I know I'm old and decrepit, but I don't think I use it that much.
You got your prescription drug plan through your Blue Cross Blue Shield?
Yes,
We do too.
Wow.
We do too.
That's expensive.
We
That's
do too.
probably why
That's
it's
the
Yeah,
most
that's probably why
expensive
it's-
one.
it's $103 a month
Oh, $103 just for your.
Wow.
Oh,
My
my.
husband's is
for a
250.
prescription.
You know, I
Okay,
know, I just
$3
did
and
my
33
husband's
cents.
and, so I got him a supplemental insurance plan, then he has Medicare, and then I put him on a prescription drug plan.
Correct.
So his prescription drug plan is like $20 a
That's why I
month.
say my husband's is.
From
His
who?
health
29.
insurance is
From who?
like $140 maybe a month.
So what does that mean that you pay prescription?
Well, prescription drug plans, where you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, it must be included. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
We do
pay a
know
lot when
that
I get a
Blue Cross Blue
prescription.
Shield is one of the most expensive plans to have.
It is.
Blue Cross
Blue
is?
Cross Blue Shield.
Oh,
is
So
one of
can
the
you keep them as
most
a secondary, for medical and still get off of the prescription and get something else?
Yes, yes.
You can?
You can have I have separate for,
Really?
but equal, separate but
I
equal.
didn't know you could do
And
that.
here, for my mother-in-law, she never signed up. Why should I? We don't take any medicine. Well, then she had a stroke and now she's got
Medicine.
buku.
And I have
She
Humana for
pays
prescriptions.
extra.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
The drug plan is picking up a lot. But
So
I
that's why-
write a big
That's why
check
you need to
every
go to this
month
open
too.
enrollment, right?
That's why you should always, and you know, you might talk to someone like Karen Mays is really good with the insurance. She can't tell you
Oh,
what
we
to
go
get.
every year to S&S and deal
Right.
with this and,
Yeah.
cause they just changed the medicine, so that's probably gonna change your plan again.
Yeah,
So,
I
anyway.
just say run your prescription drug plan through every year, even though you think you might have a good plan. You might find something cheaper, but it all depends on the prescriptions that you take.
And I'll say,
You get
we
those
got
things in the
military
mail.
and it's the only good thing with military
We'll get from Blue Cross Blue
retirement.
Shield.
Well, but you get from Medicare.
$7.
Yeah.
What every year, your prescriptions may or may not change tiers. And that's what is the difference of the cost, is what tier the government has decided your prescription is on now. And that can change the cost of your prescriptions a month. So you really have to look at your prescription secondary insurance every year, because it's amazing to me how much it can change. Right now, I got Humana. Humana's supposed to be higher.
That's what we
But
have.
it's excellent. I don't pay any a month and I get $3.33 a prescription for 90 days, 3 months.
Yeah.
$3.33.
Generic,
But
generic.
I haven't had a heart attack or a stroke or, I'm going to if I keep going to these meetings. But other than that, I'm going to. Can I just get the 18 county thing done?
Yeah.
Right now, please. Okay, there are things I'm supposed to share with you.
Financial?
Is that, did you know that there are 46 million people 65 years of age and older? And that in a few years, that amount is supposed to go up to 98 million people. 1 in 4 will be 65 years of age or older. So it is a very big issue of senior health care. And please start calling your legislators and telling them you want Medicare saved, because it has been brought up by a certain party that Medicare and Social Security are on the chopping blocks, and those are not entitlements. We all, if you had a paycheck, paid into them for as many years as you worked, and they are for you to take advantage of when you retire. Also, I'm supposed to say that United Way did a study on seniors from 2017, and they found that the most important problem, or not the most important, but the biggest problem was physical and mental health needs of our seniors. And so knowing that and knowing what you're talking about right now with your insurance issues is how important it is to let your legislators know that you care about it, that you're here. Maybe in the future, your council will want to write a letter to Topeka saying, we as a council want this. You know, we need to have better health care, and especially rural areas. It's very hard to get good health care. That's it.
Okay.
And
Fast.
paid political announcement. Well, unpaid political announcement. And also encouraging y'all to visit other senior centers outside the county. See how things are operated. You're always welcome to go to different ones. I've been going to Halloween parties because it's good treats.
You just like the party.
Good treat.
As you can tell.
But anyway,
It is always good for you to see how other counties do their council on aging meetings. I mean, it might give you some good ideas.
How does our senior center compare to a lot more around
I
us?
can show you.
It don't.
I can show you.
It doesn't.
We have gone to 5 different ones. And I tell you, this is the worst one that's ran. And I hate to say that, I'm sorry. They keep things moving. They keep it an agenda. They don't put it off the next month. They do it, this is it. And I am so disappointed, and I shouldn't say that, but I am, because
But you're talking senior centers and not a council, right?
Are you talking?
these are senior centers, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, these are senior
I
centers.
agree with you, Bob, 100%, and I've been to maybe 18 of them now.
And Ellsworth, they just got
Just
their food,
a little-
lunch back. They're doing a hell of a job over there. And we've been to Mitchell County, Ottawa County, and I tell you, they are.
And little towns, you would, Holyrood.
Oh,
You get the
and I
best
haven't been to
meals
Holyrood.
delivered there, and they're made in Wilson. Glen Elder, just, and the menu is what it is. There's no surprises.
Well, there isn't a lot of places, but, you know,
So, it is what it is, I guess.
yeah.
But you're right, and I'm glad you guys are going to different places.
But I think
Well-
you guys are starting to get on
Ask Cindy
track.
for a copy
What?
of them papers, cause I'm not on the deal, so.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'll have to make the copies of them and bring them out
Okay.
to him right now.
You know,
And I'll have
and I want
to
you,
get permission.
we
from
appreciate
them
you
'cause
coming
I
in,
Did it for
and we do have issues
Jan,
and concerns.
translation.
The board has issues and concerns. I don't know if it's just been going like this for years or what's happening, but we're gonna get it straightened out. And I don't know if I'm gonna be back next year. Man,
You will.
thanks to you.
Charlene.
Charlene. Man,
Ladonna had to leave and go to another meeting, but we knew nothing about Teresa even being gone. We were still referring people down there,
We didn't either.
and
but we've got it posted now on the
we
doors.
worked, yeah, we worked very close with what she did, and it's definitely a need in our community. And I'm gonna see if Ladonna maybe won't, before your guys' meeting on Thursday, kind of give you an idea of what we worked with her with, because I don't know if you guys know.
No, we don't.
I don't.
Okay,
We
so
don't.
I'm gonna see if she can't get some kind of a guideline for you
Well,
for your
yeah.
job description.
And also
Okay, can one of
attorneys
us
even
come down
referred
and
their income tax people
kind of talk to
who
her?
are low income
Or,
to Teresa, because
She
she
comes
did
to meeting
homestead
or
tax.
does she wanna come
Is that
here
the-
Thursday?
I don't know if she can come on Thursday because we have lab draws, but
Oh.
you know, maybe she can write out something if you guys have any questions. or
Would you
something.
ask her to write something out
Yeah.
and I could stop by?
Okay.
But I want you to understand something. Terry Finch said it wasn't so.
She paid in,
We gave her the option to stay until January 1 until open enrollment was
she
finished.
paid insurance.
With full
her
benefits.
insurance.
But she decided on her own to take another job someplace else and closed the doors over there.
Yeah, but I don't.
Liz
know if
Winter
they
called
paid $144.
for the food commodities and said, we no longer have an LCCA in Lincoln County. So Becky took it upon herself to call them and say, yes, we do have an LCCA in Lincoln County. We would like to have the commodities still being delivered. So that stuff's going behind the board's back. We don't know what the heck's going on. And then when we hear about it, we're the bad guys, not them.
Stop giving authority to something that is not on your council.
She had to report
that's a
somebody when she was taking vacation.
No.
That was a problem, because I got a call from Topeka and Garden City about your commodity program.
And
I did it 6
but that's not your
times.
position though, Cindy.
I know, but I did do commodities, Bob.
I know
So
you did.
I did.
I know you,
So I got called like, what's going on in Lincoln
but
County?
Teresa called you to do that.
No, Teresa's never talked to me since the time she's left, and I've called her and never got a return call. And I'm not the, you
My
know,
question is.
you'd be surprised how I told her.
44 hours.
Well,
Okay,
She had.
Well, I think she's stabbed.
We still care about our seniors in Lincoln County. And, you
well,
know,
I don't agree.
one person made the difference. I'm
She's
sorry to say,
the opposite.
she wasn't doing a hell of a job. She didn't do her job.
She gets
So-
4%
So why
I
did
still
I-
recording that.
She gets 12 hours.
By the way, does anybody
Wasn't involved
have
in that.
No, I
consumer
know that was
cellular?
when they hired her.
Oh,
And
oh,
this
oh,
was
I see.
13 years ago.
Tell me why
Should
they
we make a
don't.
motion to adjourn?
Don't what?
We need to adjourn.
No,
All right, I
Consumer
make a
cellular.
motion to
I
adjourn.
move to
I
adjourn.
move that we,
Adjourn.
Adjourn.
we don't have a vice president.
I'll second it.
$967.84 IRA.
All in
You don't
favor?
have consumer cellular.
Do I have consumer cellular?
Does anybody here have it?
No, I
Thank you.
don't.
Why not?
Take it back.
The reason I'm asking that
It's
is
very-
I'm
hard
thinking
minutes to
about
write
getting
Oh, my
it.
God.
What?
It isn't expensive.
Well, watch
No,
it
it's
on
not
video.
expensive at all.
No, it's very, very reasonable. It's inexpensive. is what
Make
it
sure
is.
you
Yeah,
get
this is my
good,
quote. I was gonna
connections though,
explain
cause
what
a lot
it
of
was.
them,
Yeah,
It
I
doesn't
don't
have
care
its
who
own
we have.
towers. so-
yeah,
I'll
you don't
take a
get
break and
calls
stop.
and
No, no, no,
stuff,
actually,
where you
it's,
gotta
it's
be in a
public, it's,
certain
But with
location.
it's-
knowledge, yeah, I had to pay
Like,
for it.
if you go.
yeah, no,
all the
it's,
way
and you
going
can
towards
disseminate it
Silver,
however you
You
want.
don't get
That's why I was
everybody.
wondering if I can have a
Yeah,
copy.
you can.
You see what's on there?
Literally.
Okay,
What
they
I'm
said
gonna-
as long as you
what
have
I-
AT&T, and I have